I'm Tony Livesey. I work for BBC Radio 5 Live. I do the Drive programme, 4 till 7, if anyone wants to listen. And we do a mix of news, politics of the day, sport, anything that happens, and it's a great job to have. I got the best grounding you can ever have as a journalist. I went to my local newspaper, so I worked for the Nelson Leader for 3 years, learnt the trade. The editor one day just sat me down, pulled out a story that I'd written from my typewriter, sat me next to him and rewrote it and showed me how to write. And from that day on, he was my mentor. He was fantastic for the area as well. So I worked in newspapers for many years. I worked in the Middle East, came back here, worked for various tabloids, including the News of the World, all sorts of different newspapers, then stumbled into radio and television. I've done Have I Got News For You, Never Mind the Buzzcocks, did all sorts of things like that. And then I started to I was invited to be on Radio Lancashire. And that's the way I fell into. If anyone ever tells you radio's a career, it's very difficult to suddenly say I want to be a radio presenter and do that. So I fell into it, was asked to be a guest. The boss upstairs heard me, said, why don't you present a few shows? And I've ended up on 5 Live talking to the nation. I never went to university, so when I left, Fishermore was the school I went to in Cole, and came to Nelson Combe College, much smaller place at the time, far fewer students. But I saw it, and I ultimately saw it when I left, as an absolute gateway to the rest of the world, and that's what I think it is now, and that's what children, students ought to know, and parents as well who are thinking of sending their kids here. You can come in this building as a young innocent fresh out of school and leave it, and the world is your oyster, as it was for me, because of the people you meet on. This was my university. I met like-minded people. The lecturers were fantastic. There were two, particularly Tony Sullivan and Chris Beddoes, and I'm talking 1980 now, who had a profound effect on the way I thought about the world and the way I wrote. Chris was English, Tony Sullivan was communications, and they moulded me, and I enjoyed that process. At the time, Nelson and Combe College was for people who were 16 and above, was the absolute hub, the place to be. What a lot of youngsters go through at university now, but my point of view is you don't have to go to university. I don't subscribe to that. There's a lot of opportunities out there without going to university. You can have your university experience here if you use it properly. There's a brilliant community in Pendle, absolutely, and it feeds this college. This college is the area's university, and that's how I view it. The best and the brightest come here, but a good college makes them better and brighter, if you see what I mean. And I think, certainly when I was here, that's what it did, and by all accounts, that's what it does now. Don't just come in here, do your lectures and go home. Explore every nook and cranny of this place, meet everyone you can meet, feed off the place. That's what it's here for, to feed your brain.